wheel god. Look at that thing.
Yo, what up, patrons? We got Shay and Donnie and Mike and Allie and Jackson and Jimmy and Brian and Corey and Jasmine and Robert and Josh and Sunday and Carl and Russ and Carson and Patrick, Crosby, Shawn, Michael, Emma, Jenna, Studwell, Cherish and Tony and Genevieve, Ann, Natalie, Beth, Baby Mike, Jen, Smoot, Ash Ketchum, Shay again, Kyle D, Amanda and V and Anna and Josh. Yo, thank you to the patrons. Already had the beat, like 2 patron songs ago. Do it like Eminem. I had to stretch it out.
Okay, what else is going to be?
What's up? Soft cocktail. BarCast, the podcast for bartending, service industry, and drinking in general. My name is Paxton. That is Clint Moses, and that is Vincenzo with the Budweiser. And I know his middle name is Moses now because we got a bank account the other day together. Thank you to the patrons. That's why we make songs for you. That's what you get if you're a patron. You get extra content, which we will have at the end of this podcast as well.
Because we the last couple of weeks, people have been digging the
Patreon. Yeah, because we get dark and dark. I got a really good story.
Digging like a knife in the skin, really.
Hey, just like it. I've got a really good story about me being robbed at gunpoint. So that'll be
nice.
That'll be fun for the Patreon.
We want to thank our 2 new patrons this week, Anna and Josh Steven, who's been listening since episode 1. Y'all are hilarious. Big fan of the content. Shout out from Be More.
Be More, let's go.
Shout out Josh and Anna.
We also, and this is no Kylie Jenner, but we made it to 500.
We're at 501.
501.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. That means literally nothing in the grand scheme of things.
But hey, it looks better.
But 500 looks cool. But we were following 777 people. We're trying to get that down.
We were following 750 people.
So those 200 people,
I'm going through and just wiping people out right now.
Where's our follow backs, man? Come on,
Shout out to the guy who started that account who followed a bunch of random dumbasses.
So, like I said, we are at From Behind the BarCast on Patreon and on all of our social medias. And like we start every episode, we got a little role play to go through. Okay, so So here's a typical situation.
You're bringing a tank into my house. Okay, ready?
All right, here we go. All right. Let me get inside. Let me get inside the character. Okay. Hey, Vincenzo, you want to get some pizza from Huckapoo's?
Only if they got pepperoni, man.
Hell, I'm gonna ask them. Let me call. Ring, 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 ring.
Hello, Huckapoo's.
Hey, is this Huckapoo's?
It is definitely what I just said.
Oh, Hey, Huckapoo's, what's up?
Not much. What's up with you? What? Can I get you something? You hungry? Something?
Yeah, man. I was thinking about getting a pizza.
Yeah, I'll be right with you. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. Okay. What kind of pizza would you like?
Well, I was going.
Just 1 second, guys.
Damn, y'all sound busy as hell in there.
Yeah, it's crazy as hell in here. What you want?
Y'all pretty busy every Tuesday or something like that?
Yes, every Tuesday through Tuesday.
Well, I bet y'all are busy because this is some good pizza I've heard, man. Well. All right,
we're about to be a lot less busy.
I'm gonna put in an order then, if I could.
Okay, all right.
Let's
go.
see.
All right,
y'all got. Oh yeah, what'd you say you wanted?
Pepperoni.
All right, y'all got pepperoni?
Yeah. Yep. We got pepperoni. Yep.
Well, I don't think Mark can have pepperoni. Hey, listen, just get me one with all the meat except for pepperoni and sausage. What does that come with?
Yeah, it comes with a busy.
Do y'all do half and half pizzas?
We do.
Why was y'all's phone busy earlier? Y'all busy in there?
Yeah, it's pretty busy in here. It's got to be real busy when you call back.
All right, now how much does it cost if I wanted to get half with meat and half with the other meat?
It's gonna cost quite a few things here. What kind of meat?
All right, let me call you back. I'll get my order together.
Okay, that's great.
And scene. 5 minutes wasted on the phone.
I was trying to look up dial tone.
You're gonna hang up on.
I was gonna hang up on you.
So you have no idea. Like, and when you call we'll put the phone off the hook because when we're busy, it is pointless to try and. Number one, the bartenders answer the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
So then you got 8 people standing there, and I'll be on the phone, and there will be people like tugging at me.
Sir. I'm like,
you can obviously tell that I am on the phone here. So we are wearing yellow and blue and solidarity for the Swedes. So Wink put the colors over his Facebook profile picture the other day, and I was like, "What's going on in Sweden, man?"
Is he a big fan of the Swiss?
I was like, "Oh yeah, so nice shirt, I like it. Huckapoo's Field Day." So then, so because of that, we are having a nice Polish potato vodka.
We're having Polish vodka because Luke's so I'm not going to pronounce this right.
Lutskovolski.
Polish potato vodka, because Poland's helping out the Ukraine a lot, and in celebration of what the Ukraine's doing, I'm having a Molotov cocktail. Molotov cocktail. Where you can see the burnt orange and yellow and red of the flame have ignited the passion of the Ukrainians and all people around the world. Fuck you, Putin.
Fuck you, Putin.
Putin on the Ritz.
I think those should not count.
Yeah, those don't count.
Those don't
Look at
count.
the market.
That's
are
reality.
great.
So we have our address if you want to find us.
P.O. Box 191, Tybee Island, Georgia 31328.
And if you do, we'll open up your mail on the air.
So this
sometime.
mail came in, and I picked it up the other day, and it said Clint Moses King on it. And then I texted him, and Clint goes, "What? You haven't opened it yet?" I was like, "I don't think I want to commit federal crimes,
like,
even if you are."
Let's get statute of limitations, man. You're good to go. So
I'll open it on Patreon. So
my
what's
boy
this mail about?
Grant and I have a bet that I will go in detail with one day. We bet a $2 and $1 bill back and forth. We've been sending the same $2 bill and $1 bill back and forth from New Orleans to Savannah. And when he lived here, we just pass it back and forth. I've had the 2 and the 1 position for quite some time. We draw on there like what the bet is.
It's a $3 bet.
No, so sometimes we bet the 2.
Okay,
the
gotcha.
1's the OG bill. So the 1's the bigger bet. But we bet the 2 on the game. So it's the 2, not a 2, it's the 2.
What are you, Waldorf and Randolph and Waldorf? What were the guys? No, the guys from Trading Space.
Yeah, trading places.
Trading Place.
So sometimes we'll make regular bets, but when it's the 2 or the 1,
Yeah.
if the other person has the bill, when you lose, you can't Venmo.
You have to send the actual
you send
physical
it to-
$2
He
bill.
signed it, Thomas Jefferson too. Just to do it. So I write on the bill. I bet on the Rams. We bet Stafford versus. He's in Louisiana.
How long has this mail been in the mail?
We've been doing this for like 14 years now. We've been doing this.
No, but I'm saying the Super Bowl was like 3 weeks ago.
Well, you were holding it down for me.
That's true.
So we got an autographed picture, 2 of them, from Grant. Grant went to the Lions
From
Bears
Mike
game.
the King Ditka
Mike Ditka.
himself.
I mean, look, what a great. This is the one where I was like, grow a real mustache, dude. But instead, he uses this paste on mustache, but still looks pretty good. So we're gonna have a little board here behind us one day.
Ditka, yeah.
These pictures will be on the board.
If you look like a retired NFL football coach, take a picture of yourself and sign it as coach. Because when I was in Dallas, I picked up Jimmy Johnson's photos and signed them all.
Yeah.
Because I watched him sign his name, and it's literally just 2 giant cursive J's, and I had it down pat. I should have went to eBay.
He said to my man, Ditka's mustache says, "What's up?" Even had TJ sign the $2 bill.
Oh,
Grant?
Thomas Jefferson, that's a guy.
Yeah. He's from Ukraine, I think. So thanks, Grant. We love you.
We love you, Grant. So we were drinking this Polish vodka, and
Yes, we couldn't find Ukrainian vodka.
but I had someone come in the other day, and they go, "Hey, I want to get a Tito's and soda, but is Tito's Russian?"
Yeah, Tito's Svetlana. What are you talking
I
about?
was like, "It's not Tito's.
Tito's vodka.
I'll take another Tito's vodka and
Even if
soda."
I don't have a Tito's and vodka.
I was like, "No, I can check the label, but I'm pretty sure it's made in Austin, Texas."
I do want to say,
because-
so Grant and I talked about the podcast the other night, and Grant was
Yeah.
kind of drunk, and Grant keeps calling him Terry. He keeps calling. He called Vinny Terry like 6 different
Terry.
times. Terry.
That's Adam.
Because my
Vinny
other
Terry.
best friend is Terry.
True that.
So my other best friend's name is Terry. Oh my God. Bomb shelter, guys. Let's get down.
I wonder if it's gonna beep all day. Let's see how many beeps it goes.
see how it goes.
Oh, that's
so,
at 3 beeps. Nice.
So yeah, we'll get to the food on the second half of the podcast.
Oh, so, yeah. So
But yeah, so he kept calling him Terry. And I was like, it's Vinny. He's like, Terry, Vinny, whatever. Because my
I was
other
just
best
thinking,
friend is
I've never
Terry.
met Grant, have I?
who cares?
No, most people haven't met Greg. He hadn't lived here in like a decade. He's been in
So
Nolans.
you can get a pass for
And Grant-
calling Vinny Terry.
Grant sells art in New Orleans.
Call
You know what
me as long
Grant's
as you
favorite
call me.
holiday is?
Halloween.
Not fucking Mardi Gras. He hates Mardi Gras.
Oh, I bet if you live there, it sucks.
It's just a pain in the ass.
It's like St. Patrick's Day here.
well,
I
see,
love
but
St.
at least I make money with St. Patrick's Day. Well, y'all do.
I don't like
money,
the downtown
but
situation.
for Mardi
on
Gras,
St.
he
Patrick's Day.
sells art. People that are Mardi Gras aren't buying nice artwork. They're taking up space. People that would actually buy the nice artwork, and they're all drunk at 9 a.m.
I was gonna say, does he have big pieces and make actual money off of
Oh, yeah.
selling art
Yeah.
at Mardi Gras? I mean,
No,
like on
no,
the side
Mardi
of the
Gras
road.
is like he just sells prints.
Oh,
He's in
yeah.
Jackson Square, so he rents a spot in Jackson Square.
I
So
don't
he's
know
selling
that.
art there.
Is that like a pretty
big square there? I guess.
I've
never
bought
been.
art in Jackson Square before.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I got
Not
you.
from Grant, you douche.
Oh,
Nah, I didn't
so-
know he was there. I bought our prints.
So it's known
print.
for
Yeah, it's
having
known
art.
for that.
Yeah.
It is known for that. So thank you, Grant. You're the shit. So y'all send us some mail. We'll open it on the air. If you want to send panties, don't write my name. on there.
Don't.
Write
Just
on
don't.
Write Paxton's
Clint,
name.
no, don't. So we have
now we're getting some panties. It's gonna be fun, dude, though.
probably our most listened to episode about the B&D Burgers debacle. We have a we have a little bit of an update because I came into work the other day and someone said
B&D burger sitting right there.
And someone said, "Hey, someone came in early because they said this girl Caitlin had to leave because she was training that day, but she had to leave early to go to another job." It turns out it is the bartender in question that was being harassed at
Is
B&D
now working
Burgers,
at Huckapoo's?
is now training to work at Huckapoo's.
Ooh, I got to meet her.
Full circle.
Full
That's
circle.
awesome.
So what?
Is she a listener too?
I have no idea.
She cute?
I didn't see her. I didn't see her, but
She
do you
sounds
want to know what everyone that didn't see her asked? Hey, what does she look like? The first question any dude asks ever is like, "Oh, is she hot?"
That's the thing. Like I don't like. That's not usually my MO. I just thought it'd be. But
yeah.
So the other night,
that's why it flowed so naturally off your tongue.
I went. It does flow naturally off my tongue, lady.
Get it?
So I went to dinner the other night with my family. Had my sister, my brother-in-law, my cousin Morris, and then ran into my cousin Andrew randomly at midnight at Vinny's Bar at Social Club, which was random. But when we're walking around, Charlotte goes, "Hey, we're walking from Madame Butterfly to Social. We're walking by B&D. Charlotte goes, "Hey, you want to make a stop in B&D?" And I was like, "I don't know if I'm welcome in there."
Wait a minute. Was she joking?
She was just kidding. But it was 10:30 on a freaking Friday night. There was 6 people at the outside bar and maybe 15 inside tops. That place was empty.
And if you don't know, the location that we're talking about is massive.
Prime downtown. Look, everywhere
And
else.
it's prime
Everywhere
downtown,
else I walk by, slammed.
Yeah.
Not B&D.
So burger joints are having
Been a douchebag, huh?
Burger joints are having a rough go here in Savannah, Georgia. Let me tell you, because a viral TikTok about the Wendy's, Wilmington.
Vinny had not heard
I
this.
have not seen this yet.
Oh my God! So there's a very viral TikTok, like millions and
literally
millions.
viral, like virus viral.
Yeah, and so there's roaches. They're like, this is where we make y'all sandwiches.
So somebody posted they worked at the Wendy's for 2
I
weeks.
didn't know it was the Wilmington one for like the first 5 times.
I didn't either.
saw
First
it.
time I saw it, then I saw it.
outta here.
It was Wendy's on Wilmington Island, and there was roaches everywhere. Which now
ate
it's
that
probably
2 weeks ago.
we ate there 2 weeks ago.
Clint brought Wendy's.
I brought Wendy's here, and I had some problems the next day. I actually pooped out 4 live roaches.
They were gestating inside of you, and then
They had been at the ex-social club from Tybee, and are now at Wendy's.
So
it was gross.
So we go to get a bank account the other day because we're taking the
Joint bank account.
Joint bank account. So we're
Held
in
hands
it
the
now.
entire time.
So me and Clint.
Domestic
Shout out to
partnership.
our banker. She was awesome.
Emily is amazing.
Emily's great.
So my domestic partnership here with Clint Moses. So we go there, we get our bank account, and on the way to pick him up, I was like, "Hey, I'm stopping by Wendy's. Do you want anything?"
And so I didn't. I saw the text. It was doing something, and was like, when he gets here,
Like, does he know?
I'm gonna ask him if he's eaten the food yet before I tell him, and if he's already eaten, I'm gonna be like, well, you might want to go purge in the bathroom.
And he didn't answer my text, so he goes, "Well, I'm just gonna bring you some sandwiches anyways."
yeah, bring you a sandwich. I was like, oh no.
So we go to get our joint bank account so that we can use Patreon to pay for the computer and all
That's
of our
when we
bills
found out
and
that
stuff.
Moses is of name from Burma.
So they put a stop on our bank account because there's a person named Clint Moses King from Burma,
Apparently, what translated to some other crazy name.
a female from Burma.
Yes.
So they had to put an OFAC stop on it.
to stop to
Like,
see if it was
make sure we weren't funding terrorists
terrorism
over
from
here.
Burma.
So
But it was like I was like, wow, Burma, huh? I feel special.
but Clint Moses King, that's a chick's name in Burma.
Yeah, it would translate to I'm not going to say Durka, but I did in Burmese. All right, where's Burma?
Yeah, Africa,
Burma?
I don't know.
Indonesia.
Off the top of my
Southeast
head.
Asia.
Southeast Asia.
it's close to Sweden. Oh yeah, I know.
think so.
We got Dr. Geography over here. Come on, man.
I mean, we're supposed to have a guy for this, but he's not real good.
Well,
with that.
I won't be eating
Got
Wendy's.
things in my hands.
I won't be eating
Burma
Wendy's.
it's the capital. It's the capital of Myanmar. Formerly Burma is
That's
Myanmar.
just-
Okay, that's
No.
that's
Southeast
Durka.
Asia.
That's Durka.
No, Durka's Middle East.
Oh, whatever. So, anyways, I won't be eating any
It's
Wendy's.
pretty close. It's pretty close.
Any Wendy's or any B&D or anything anytime soon because I'm on the
Between Thailand and
Diplo.
India.
I'm on the Diplo challenge.
I
now.
know. So I'm cooking some
I
food
saw
for us.
the
Max,
video.
like 2
So,
start.
if you haven't listened in the past few weeks, I was going to do a Patreon exclusive where I Diplo, which is where I put my legs upon the wall and pop my pussy real hard. And
man,
the first time I tried, I failed completely because my fat ass and weak little arms wouldn't hold me up. So I've been on an exercise regimen ever since, not because I want to look good, not because I want to feel good.
Are you on the inner?
Because I
wanna
want to
pop
dip. I
your
want to pop my
pussy.
pussy
for the patrons. I want the 3 Ps, right? So, anyways,
we can do the shower video when you get your ideal weight.
yeah, when I get to my when I'm not body shaming myself anymore. So I've been doing kettlebells, this and that. Well, one thing I did was change my diet completely, and
It's a giant mess over here.
the first 3 days of my diet, I was eating a lot of cruciferous vegetables and greens.
Yeah,
lots of protein,
a lot of gas.
very little carbs, and I had to light incense in my own room by myself.
While you just for your
because
farts?
I lit it up for 28 straight hours.
Is that what burned this orange?
Because you were talking about you're cooking cabbage for corned beef and cabbage and stuff for us, and you're like,
But no potatoes. No potatoes. I'm using radishes. instead of
radishes
potatoes.
instead. But I was like, yeah, let's save it for after the podcast because you don't want none of that. I mean, literally, I lit 3 sticks of incense that day in my room by myself.
By yourself. You're like, you're
My
shaming
roommate
yourself.
wasn't even here. I was like,
He walked by the
I
house.
had the doors
and left.
open. Actually, he was at work and he walked in the house and walked right back out. I don't know if he was
I
just coming
quit.
to grab his weed or something like that, but I was like, so I've been on so I'm gonna make a YouTube video about it. But now, so what I've been doing, I'm able to stay in pussy popping position
Yeah.
for like I could probably do it for like a minute now.
I think eventually you're going to do it right here on this wall. Huh?
I think I actually will. Yeah. So this week I did it a little more where I went to a full plank, stretch my legs out completely and come down.
I used to do wall push-ups when you go up on the wall and do
Yeah,
push-ups
yeah,
down, and I broke my foot. The first time I ever broke a bone in my life, I tried to cartwheel out of it, and I was barefoot, and I kicked the edge of this wooden Adirondack chair that Jason and Mary Liz left at my mom's house, just the corner of it, broke my foot, and this was like an hour before this girl I was dating was coming to the house, so I was like, oh, that's not that bad. So,
You fucked on the foot?
I fucked on the foot, and the foot was, the next day I woke up was like, I can't walk. This was like my short stint at the Crab Shack, so I had to go get a boot. I had to wear a boot to
Crab
the
Shack, you walk in everywhere.
So I had to wear a boot all night at the Crab Shack, which is good. I played the pirate thing up pretty good. But if you've ever been in the Crab Shack in the back, it's
Crab Shack in the back. Crab
it's
Shack
not
in the back,
real. It's not Wendy's bad.
It's not Wendy's bad, but it's not great.
There's standing water back there on the weekend nights,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'd have to between shifts, I'd have to change my socks, clean the boot.
Oh, a Crab Shack boot?
So when I'd go home, I'd put a trash bag on my foot when I got in my car. I could pull up the car, sit down, trash bag on my foot, and go home. And I would scrub that boot nightly, daily and rightly.
Yeah, because boots are very, injury boots.
Yeah, because your foot's sticking out. But I played it up. I got such good tips because I was like, oh, what happened to you? I was like, I was lifting a car to save 4 burning children. I was in the Ukraine. Stop Putin.
Today you asked because you never know how bad an injury is. Especially if you're getting laid. You'll fight through anything.
No, you could be on fire.
You could literally be lit like this orange on this Molotov cocktail here.
There's bombs going off behind you.
Yeah, and then the pain will hurt afterwards. But when you got here today, you're like,
as soon as you come, you roll over. You're like, ah,
pain is terrible. Why did I do this?
Everything hurts.
And then you go, who are you? So you asked me today when you came over, you wanted me to cut these oranges because you're like, how many injuries do you have on your hands? And I do have one from the rake because this piece of shit rake splintered me. And I didn't realize it right away.
Wearing gardening gloves?
No, I only wear them
You're a man.
I only wear them to scoop the leaves, not to, you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, I started using them now. And I didn't realize that it was so bad until I got to work and the first lime that I squeezed.
Oh, that lime.
And I was like,
I've got one.
I mean, my man's got electrical tape on his finger. You look like Ultimate Warrior. He used to run into the ring.
I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to go over to Poland and help out.
Speaking of Ultimate Warriors, so we're in Savannah, Georgia.
And there's a lot of Ultimate Warriors here. They wouldn't
m-
invade my backyard.
We just had Mr. Bert Kreischer, the Machine, a famous comedian, come in town to see us. And my boss, Eric Thomas, went to go see him. And he was telling some people, and half the people he told didn't know who.
That's the second biggest show we've had
Bert
the last few
Kreischer.
weeks here. There was another big show recently
Oh, where's that? Yeah.
that reminds you of freedom.
No, I got reminded
So
of that.
Bert's singing the national anthem, huh?
And they didn't know that he tells the Machine story every time. But now he's saying the national
he does
anthem.
national anthem before the Machine story. The Machine story
Because the
in
Machine
Russia.
story is about him being in Russia and joining the Russian
And he has no
mafia.
shirt on the entire time.
But so in the same conversation with my boss, Eric Thomas, I was like, hey, man, I just started watching The Sopranos because I've never watched it.
You haven't?
Literally, this is my first time watching The Sopranos.
You big pussy.
And Eric,
Awesome.
nice. Eric goes, yeah, I watched like 2 seasons of that show. I sent him an email and asked for my time back.
What?
Now, listen, you have to understand, Eric Thomas has the worst taste in every art form in the world.
Everything.
I mean, I like Bert Kreischer. That's probably the only thing that he and I both like.
I mean, we tried to
His
get him to watch
favorite
the Marvel
movie,
movies.
Armageddon.
We tried to get him to watch
Yeah,
Marvel
it
movies.
is.
And he was
That's
like, I watched
real.
Captain America. It was pretty good. I'm like, pretty good.
His favorite music is like the Eagles. Yeah, it's not the Eagles, but it might as well be.
The Bengals.
Oh, and I one of our patrons, literally like a Patreon patron, told me how awesome the Eagles concert was the other night, and it's our buddy David, and he kept saying it. I was like, okay, man, okay. And he knew it was
Notice
killing
how
me.
we haven't brought it up. Okay, it's been
I
2
know,
weeks. We
I
haven't
know.
said anything about it.
I saw the Eagles way back in 05 when they were
Hey,
still
man.
good, bro.
You know what? We'll get some behind the
I
scenes
didn't
here.
need to go this
So I had this tease planned
Uh-huh.
where I was going to go. It's been a big show here in Savannah in the last few weeks.
Yeah, right.
It reminds you of freedom in the best way. And it's Bert Kreischer singing the national anthem before the machine song.
I'm glad I was able to derail that
Yeah,
completely.
damn it, you de-eagled me.
Thank you so
You
much.
clipped my wings. Videos. I was going to play Hotel California on my phone.
I started whistling while I was setting up to see. If
Well,
you noticed.
here's the thing: we can't play any of that on
No.
our podcast because we'll get claimed. So, nan.
Oh yeah, because they're watching our podcast.
No, I mean we can't do it on
YouTube.
or Spotify or any of the major ones.
Yes, we can.
They have an algorithm. I'm telling you, bruh.
Not just for the Eagles.
Well, I mean, it's not like we're going to get demonetized because we don't make any fucking
Yeah,
money
yeah.
anyways, except from the patrons. Which, thank you, by the way.
Thank you, patrons. We're going to bet some microphones.
Did
soon.
you know anyone else that went to the Bert Kreischer?
I know quite a few people that went.
I do a lot.
It was a Saturday. I didn't even know. It
So
had already
I
come
like
up.
Bert, but I don't like Bert enough to go to see Bert in Savannah. Because the thing is, you go to I don't know how many comedy shows you've been to here. It's like
I went to
going
Louis
to
C.K.
it's like going to the Wilmington Island Kroger at 5:30. Hey, how are you? How are you? How are
right,
you?
yeah.
How are you? How are you?
Well, when I
And
went to
you're
see
like-
Louis C.K., I was late. So, like, by the time I was there, Todd Glass I
Be
think,
late.
was the opener.
Be
Yeah.
late. I went. So I've seen Chappelle there twice. I've seen Ron White there a couple times.
Where, what was it? The Civic Center or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen. What did I say? Wrong way. Who else? I've seen about 7 shows there.
yeah.
And I like live. We're going to go see Tom Segura in May.
Yeah.
Which I
Well, see,
forgot
the
about
thing
till
is,
you
I
said
hear
that.
so much of Bert Kreischer on podcasts, anyways.
Well, the thing is, and Bert is the great interrupter.
Yeah.
Like he's on Two Bears One Cave with Tom Segura. It might be called Two Birds One Tom.
Yeah,
Because like he
right.
just keeps talking. And like thing is, Bert, I've noticed I do it sometimes when I get excited about something, and you'll be talking.
Haven't noticed.
And I'm just waiting for you to finish so I can say what I want to say.
You don't hear shit.
No,
he's just
that's
like
what Bert does though. He's like, I didn't hear anything you said. Man. I at least hear you. Bert's like, yeah, I know what you just said.
Well, here's the thing. So you said you were going to check up because typically when he goes to a town, Bert likes to party and everything.
He'll tell people where he's
Where-
going after
like,
the show,
which
He'll
I
be
would
like,
never,
All right, guys,
ever.
we're going to this bar, and the bar will just get slammed. So he'll text the bar, and be like, by the way, or have someone call the bar. You're about to get anally
Yeah.
screwed by customers. But no Russian vodka.
Whenever I get done with a gig,
Yeah.
any gig, I don't want to talk, see anybody. Like I never after
Yeah, when
party.
I get done with this gig, I don't want to see anybody. Either.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked at like even when I get done with a shift at work. You know what I mean?
Oh, I
I'm just
know.
Like,
I know. You're not an Irish goodbye. You're like a ninja goodbye.
the other night,
Smoke bomb.
I was trying to close, and Martine and Ricky came in, and I haven't seen them barely. I knew they were there, but I hadn't seen them, so I already had the flap closed. So I'm back there by myself for like 10 seconds. They walk back, and Martine goes, "Man, let me tell you something about Puerto Rico, man. This is why you're." And I was like, "Both y'all, fuck off from back here." They were
Get your real
starting.
talk.
They were trying to start this conversation
They were
back
like,
there.
"All right."
They were not in the middle of it.
We've got a topic we're bringing to Paxton, and he's going to deal with this shit. Because when you're back there, you can't get out.
Yeah, because Martin's Puerto Rican. I was like, why does he think Ricky is racist towards Puerto Rican? Like, I don't think Ricky has ever been mad at anyone. He's like, let me tell you something about Puerto Rico, you racist.
It's Ricky, your neighbor, right?
No.
Who's Ricky?
The guy across the street.
No. I forget his last name. He hangs out with
I don't know
Hunter
who
and
that
all them at North Beach Grill.
Oh, yeah, I've met that dude before. Yeah.
Anyways, whatever. So it was a weird team up, but
He's just another white person.
he's just another dude.
They all look the same to me.
He's just another dude that literally does nothing to no one ever, good or bad. Okay, you know what I mean? He
That's okay.
exists.
That's okay.
But now he's a YouTube subscriber because I showed him how to do it on his phone right before I told them.
Look, I've been taking people and look, here's this and this. And they're like, okay, I'm like, but we have
our buddy Al figured it out. Y'all can.
Al figured it out?
Al figured it out.
In the
Y'all
closet,
can,
in the bathroom?
Y'all can figure it out.
So we have a mutual friend that I've known since I was in the first grade. We'll just call him. We get. Sorry, everybody starts moving their hands around there.
No, I just thought I heard it
Call
cut
him
out.
Bon McLellan. Comes up to me the other night. It's his 40th birthday, so we'll let a little bit of that
Okay.
slide.
All right.
At Vinny's bar, and he is, as usual, hammered. And
Yeah.
he could give Hunter Mullen a run for his money sometimes with his speech.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, dude,
He's
man.
He's Barney from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Imagine Hunter Mullen, but like fat and a Panic fan.
Barney from the
Yeah, dude, that's not bad.
All right, and if you were here a couple weeks ago, he's the guy who's been a head under when I was high. And so he comes up to me, he's like, "Oh my God, good to see you, man. I love you and P, man. Your podcast, man, it's the shit, man. So awesome, man. I got to check it out sometime." I'm like, "What?" And over the course of the next 5 minutes, he told me how much he loved the podcast, how much he's never heard it. And he kept going back and forth. And I was so confused. And I'm like, and this is like 11 o'clock. I've been at Madame Butterfly just pounding food. So, like, I've sobered myself up. So I'm like, I could drive a car legally. This guy couldn't walk by a car legally. Now, it's his 40th birthday, so you're going to be a little more wasted.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, he was in he's a super nice guy.
I've known him forever, yeah.
Man, me too. I love the guy. He's a sweet guy.
He was in Athens when I was
but
living
Brochel,
But an absolute shit show.
but
Yeah,
your bar, dude, the Broshin of people.
I work at the craziest bar in downtown.
You work at the
Savannah.
Broshiest
It's the longest
bar.
I've ever been in that bar.
Yeah.
I don't probably ever. Like we were there for like 3 hours. We hadn't run into my cousin Andrew. Fuck you, Andrew, for not texting me when you came into town from St. Simon's 2 hours prior. Oh man, it's a spur of the moment trip. I'm like, I work down the street, dude.
Yeah.
You know Andrew. Like,
Well, Charlotte told me, she was like, "Yeah, we ran into our cousin who we didn't know was going to be there." Like, "Oh, he doesn't call you when he comes into town?"
yeah, dude. Like, if I go to St. Simon's, I'm gonna call him. Be like, hey, I'm on the way to St. Simon's.
That's kind of after. Allie was in St. Simon's today and brought me back a Southern Soul barbecue sandwich. Shout out to Griffin.
I use their rub when I do my ducks. I take a Southern
they
Soul
they
rub.
have their own
I take
proprietary
their rub,
rub?
and I add some other things to it, but that's my base for my rub.
I think Inferno. Shout out Inferno and Brian, Tybee Island, Georgia.
Inferno
I think
was
they have rubs as well.
Do they?
I think they do.
Oh, I'm gonna go in there and
And
rub
if they
things
don't,
up.
now they have to make them.
Yeah, rub it up, guys.
I'll rub you down.
Speaking of rubs, I rubbed a corned
beef brisket
about a day and a half ago, and smoked it for 4 and some hours. Maybe there's an eagle in here.
We're getting bombed.
But smoked it for about 4.5 hours, and then got some cabbage, radishes, and carrots in the oven right now with butter and chicken stock.
Oh, that good?
Didn't add onions because one of ours doesn't like onions.
Thank
Oh,
you
nice.
for that.
Raw or
Appreciate
cooked?
it.
You get okay with cooked, but raw.
I'm old enough to where I can tolerate them now.
I'm old enough.
I'm an adult. I'm a
an
man.
adult.
I can eat onions.
So
I
that's
can
been-
eat onions if I have to.
So that
God
brisket-
damn it!
It was 4.5 hours in my smoker, and then another 40 minutes in the oven, and then now it's been sitting out drying in my pink butcher paper. So it's going to be fantastic.
Well,
But
let's-
Texans interracial fasting, so
I'm Swedish fastings, but we will see y'all after the break for the Karens. Inner Swedish fasting?
that guy Max, who's the German guy, could catch flies like nobody's business. He was
Like Karate Kid with the chopstick?
I've done it with a
Oh,
chopstick.
shit.
It's
It's the Karen of the week.
gas chamber.
It's the Karen of the week.
Shit.
Welcome back to From On the BarCast, and after the break, we always do the Karen of the week. So,
Ooh, the brisket of the week was good.
oh yeah, that was fantastic. I like the fatty, crusty bits on it. It was delicious. The carrots were great too. I did eat a little bit.
And the cabbage will be evident later
Yeah,
on.
well, I didn't touch the cabbage. I had enough of a gas day the other day. Clint has a very long Karen, so I have a general Karen. So I'm going to start off this Karen segment. And my Karen is, it happened to me about 3 times this weekend when I was working, but it's ubiquitous amongst all Karens and Darrens. So
the common Karen.
the common Karen, just like it's just the flu. You know what I'm saying?
common-
It's just the common Karen flu. Okay.
She did her own research.
Corona Karen over here. So she comes. This lady comes up. She goes, "Hey, do y'all got the?"
I like how your Karens are always
They're
from
always
Clio,
country.
Georgia, or whatever.
I just I default to country Karens. She goes, "Hey, y'all got a black cherry White Claw?" I was like, "No, ma'am. We have the Oasis black cherry. You know, it's another seltzer." She's like,
like they taste that much
"Yeah,
difference.
exactly." I was like,
If
"Okay."
you gave her a taste test, she wouldn't be able to tell.
For real. This another lady comes up. She goes, "What kind of tequila do you have?" I said, "We have El Jimador, Cazadores, and well." She's like,
No Patron?
and I was like, "Well, we stopped Patron a long time ago."
Castoroys is better than Patron.
Cazadores is better than, but Cazadores and El Jimador are pretty much.
I like El Jimador's my common tequila.
Do y'all have Bud Light? Yeah. No, we have Miller Lite. Like
Vince would totally do that.
and that's understood. If you, I'm just saying, like I get those
Anything
Karens.
you ask for.
Anything you ask for. If you don't have that exact thing, nothing else can stop. Hey, do you have Absolute Citron? No, we have Deep Eddy Lemon.
Which is also better. Well,
Karen.
behind the puking Karen. Yes.
So let's hear your fine
So I
dining
had
Karen.
so I had a week of. Oof.
Boy, I had a week. Let me tell you,
my Karen Tuesday was enough to eclipse the Karen Wednesday and the Darren 3 Karen Thursday. I maybe mentioned that Thursday one eventually. So Karen has a 8-top. They're semi-regulars. This guy at table who is definitely an anti-Darren, who I waited on a few times, is like, "Oh, Clint, what's up, man? You look good." We talked some.
Yep.
They were happy I didn't have a mask on because they're that group. They wanted to sit downstairs. We had a party downstairs. It was already booked before they wanted to book. Well, we're not going to come in then. So the manager's like, "You know what? We'll buy you a round of drinks." Well, and when I'm told that, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, we'll get you a round of drinks." We keep this cheap champagne on for the staff to drink. So I'm like, I pour it in glasses, bring it to the table of this cheap-ass champagne. I then ring it in as a high-end champagne.
Boom.
And we comp it, but that's
But you get to drink the good champagne now because
I didn't. I mean, no one got to drink good champagne. It was just chocolate.
Oh, gotcha.
Helps cost in the restaurant. But they think when they see the bill, they got this good stuff. So that kind of quells her Karenicity for a minute.
Is that a Police album?
Karenicity? I think it's Scrantonicity, but yeah. So the reservation's at 7. 6 out of 8 show up at 7. The last 2 get there at 7:30. That's fine, whatever. Special and get stuff going. 7:40, they put the order. I put the order in. Apps we're at 140 cover on Tuesday. We're slammed. The apps come out. I clear the apps. I fire their entrees. It's like 8:45 when I fire their entrees. At 9 o'clock, where's our food? We just speed things up. I'm like, ma'am, as you can see, we're completely slammed. Well, we've been here since 7 o'clock. You actually haven't.
Some of you have.
Some of you have, but you didn't make your order until 7:45. That's when the order went in. So we actually, like I would say, we start at 7:45. It's only been an hour and some change. You're doing pretty good here. Well, then you just speed things up. I'm like, ma'am, we're on the path we're on now. Food does not cook any faster from this point on.
On the path we're on. Did you actually say that?
I did 100% said that.
That's great.
This isn't Stairway to Heaven. There's
Because
not still time to change the road you're
My
on.
homeboy Darren is laughing at everything I say to her because he does not like her, and it's obvious that really nobody else does. So they're like, well. I was like, well, we have a brand new chef. Things take some time. She goes, we're paying the big bucks for our food. You better get it going. And I said, ma'am, we all pay the same for food here. You always pay anybody more than anybody else is. And she gets a little quiet there. So you know what I do? There's 8 of them. Her food is like the 3rd entree in the window. Put that shit back over there.
Of course you put it to the end.
My boss and I are on the same page here. So Ron's like, yeah, we get her last. I'm like, so we serve everybody else. I go, can I get anybody anything? She goes, my food. I'm like, oh, I'll be right back with your food. And I said it to myself. I was like, Karen. But I wanted to be like, Karen, and drop her food real loud. And she's just like, fine, whatever. So they're a little up. So I'm killing her with kindness. Just killing her with kindness the whole time.
Yeah, but your kindness always has a twinge of trolling to it.
Oh, definitely.
Especially
because they're kind of drunk, so I'm kind of feeding into it a little bit. So I'm pushing her some, but like her husband's loving me. Everybody's loving me, but her.
Yeah.
So like,
and I love that because that's the best situation to be in. So because you're basically doing stand up and you got a crowd,
exactly.
and you're roasting
crowd
one
work,
person,
and she's just getting worked. So Bill comes. I do the bill. We'll split it 4 ways, 4 couples. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yep.
So the guy next to her, my buddy, goes, "Oh, you were great tonight. Thanks for getting everything out here as fast as you could. Here's an extra 20," and says it out loud. And her face is just. So in the realm of that, Wednesday I had a Karen. She sucks. Screw you, lady. Not worth mentioning. Thursday, 4-top.
Wow, you got skipped, Karen. You were such a Karen.
Yeah.
That careless
Karen.
Karen.
Lowercase K, Karen.
Wow.
Caron. So this 4-top, it's a walk-in table, which is never really good at a fine dining restaurant because that means they weren't planning on coming to dinner. They sit down. The guy's like, "Hey, I want to get a French Cabernet." I'm like, "This is the one we have by the glass. It's 75% Cab, 25% Merlot." He goes, "Well, if a glass is $12, what's a bottle? Or a bottle is $12, what's a glass?" I'm like, "No, the glass is $12, the bottle's $48." He goes, "That seems like a lot." I'm like, "Well, at restaurants is what we do."
Yeah, we have to mark things up because it costs to operate.
So he can't figure out what he wants. So he keeps trying to talk. I'm like, "Well, let the ladies order. I'll come back to you." I get their wine. They're okay. Finally, give him the wine that I was holding the first time after going through all the other damn wines. Time to order. How many scallops come in this dish? Well, it's an appetizer, sir, so there's 2. Well, it seems like a lot. Can I get like another half a scallop or maybe 3? I'm like, no, they're pre-portioned, so you can get 2 orders. You can get 4.
Also, what bay do you get half scallops from?
Yeah, the half scallop bay. So I'm like, "Look, this is what you can get." He's like,
"Oh no, I wanted the veal scallop."
Doesn't seem like a lot. I'm like, appetizer again, so whatever. So get the order in. The 2 ladies order salads. They eat their salad. They give him like the last few bites. He goes, "How's everything going?" "Well, there could have been some more dressing on this." I'm like, "Well, you didn't say anything. The 2-top chicken, and you wasn't yours. Whatever." I'm ignoring it. Their bill's like $140.
They're commenting on someone else's food.
Correct. So entrees come out. They I check on him multiple times. I know they're going to be a problem, so I'll check on him a bunch. He eats every bit of his scallops, the crust around the dish with 4 orders of goddamn bread. And every time you order bread from me, I give you the standard order, 3 pieces per person.
Yeah, because you normally...
You get it again, have as much bread.
Yeah,
You get it again, have as much bread. Eventually, you're getting a slice of bread.
It's the bread of diminishing returns.
Exactly. So I check on him multiple times. I come back then, I'm clearing his place. I'm like, everything was great. And she goes, well, this escargot, I know you got a new chef. You change things around, but, it's kind of a complicated dish. I'm like, butter, garlic, and escargot. Not complicated. She goes, well, maybe he'll get better at it, but this is not up to par. I'm like, okay, I'll go talk to him. I'm not going to go talk
Obviously
to him.
not going to go talk to him.
So, because the sous chef's cook it, who's been there for a long time.
And I'm saying, if you get your snails from the same place, and your butter from the same place, and your garlic from the same place.
It's the same thing.
There's not, I mean.
They've never been there before, but they're complaining about it. So, I'm like, I'll talk to them.
And they are 4 top that walked into a fine dining restaurant
Right.
without getting a reservation.
Correct.
So they know their stuff. Let me tell you, they're spending what we call the big bucks.
So the bill is $149, and this is not a
With
thing.
4 people, that's pretty good actually for there.
Usually I average about 65 person. That's what I shoot for.
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty low, but whatever. So the bill comes. I need a check. Split it 4 ways. I say, with a check split three or more ways, we add 20% gratuity. We don't, but I do, and no one complains. So I bring the checks out. The guy goes, "Wait a minute, there's an extra charge for splitting the check." I go, "Sir, it's 20% charge. It's an average gratuity. If you feel like I haven't given you average service, I'll be happy to remove it." Yeah, put it on one check. Here's my card. I'm like, okay, put it on one check. Take the gratuity off. Run his card, bring him back, and I put it down and go. And I said all of this because I don't care about this tip at this point.
Yeah.
And I got a 7 top next to him who's having the best time.
Right,
My
yeah,
favorite
yeah.
table I've had all month.
Yeah.
And I go, sorry, sir, tonight we could not. Sorry, y'all, tonight we couldn't live up to your expectations. Sorry, I disappointed you in service, and hopefully next time you eat somewhere else, you'll find what you want. She goes, well, what about the escargot? I'm like, ma'am, I went and checked, and every other table got the same order put out.
Yep.
Enjoy there. So maybe the problem doesn't lie with us; it lies elsewhere. And I did that with my hands.
Did you motion towards
them elsewhere, and they just stared at me. I go, and if you want to continue this, there's cards at the front door for the owners. His name are Donald and Jeff. My name has been Clint. They would love to discuss with you what just happened here. And they're just staring at me. 10 on 150, worth $20.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like, you're such a dick. So the table next to them that loved me.
Yeah.
I mean, we do a check.
Did they kind of hear what went down?
Oh, they heard the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
It's just the 3 tables of the restaurant. They can hear all this. So I'm having you to check. Well, we'll do it 3 ways. Just bring us a check. We'll split it 3 ways. Thank you so much. I grat them because you never know. Comes out. She goes, hey, they get it all figured out. They go, there's actually cash in here. We've doubled your tip because you did a great job, and looks back at this table.
Really?
Ms. Chandler, because I made the check back, and I go, is it Mrs. or Ms. Chandler? She goes, it's Ms. I was like, oh, yeah. She goes, She was like 55, but like.
You guys shoot your shot?
Yeah, I had to. Because I was just so attracted to her personality. And
I just thought she goes,
and I was just like, hey, got to try. But
Nothing-
they doubled my grat in cash.
Yeah.
'Cause I did a good job. And every other table was happy all night.
Yeah.
Except for Darren and the ladies.
I'm telling you, man, and it happens a lot. Like when other people around you see other people, knowing that. Hey, we finally have one.
Got it.
Knowing that, like, even if it's not exemplary service,
Right.
it's adequate service. And if someone's trying to give you shit about it and they notice it, it's almost like I'd rather have one group of Karens and Darrens surrounded by a bunch of good
people
groups,
that love us.
and I want them to make a stink so that the other groups notice, and they're like, oh, wait a minute.
It's always the best.
It's always the best. And the best feeling in the world is working at a place where they are powerless against your ownership.
Exactly. They are powerless against me here. Because my owner saw, or my boss saw what was
That's what I'm
going
saying.
on.
So we have bosses that defer to our discretion and our judgment on whether these people are being shitty or stupid or unreasonable.
So I got 2 emails to the restaurant last week, how great my service was, like compliments, and one was a 7 top, and one was one of the guys at 8 top, my homeboy Anti.
Oh, nice,
was
yeah.
Like, thanks again. We love seeing Clint. We want him next time we come in.
Man, I got to beat my positive comments off with a stick sometimes. Man.
Yeah, you gotta
not
beat a lot-
really. I never
you
get
gotta beat a
positive
lot of them
comments. No, but I mean, I'm not the best bartender, but I try and treat everyone well as long as they
Don't want hugs or get behind your bar.
yeah, ride the line. You know what I mean?
Ride the line on the other side of the bar.
But it's beautiful to take the power away from them where they go, if they think that they can go above you and complain about you and be like, no, I would love.
Yeah. Go on Yelp, please.
I would love for you to talk to my management and my
yeah,
ownership.
because they're going to be like, hey, does she suck? Yep. Okay,
yep,
cool.
exactly. Boom. End of story.
End of story. So speaking of people with positive shout-outs, Mike Jr., happy birthday,
Happy birthday,
brother.
buddy.
Happy birthday, buddy.
We love you.
He's a patron as
birthday.
well.
He is a patron as well.
He had his
He's the
birthday up
man.
at Huckiapoo's yesterday.
Was that with a K or a C?
And yeah, and it was nice because it was an early music night. There's nothing better and having music in the afternoon.
I noticed that you were off pretty early.
I got off like 11 o'clock probably.
I know when you texted me back, you're like, I'm off. I was like, oh yeah, I know why he's off.
Well,
'Cause he had the crew in.
Once the party was over and the music left, pretty much everyone else left. So I was like, close that door right on down. And I wasn't super drunk or anything, so I was like,
do you ever yell, look over there? And then close the door down real fast?
what's that? Look, an 8-ball.
I've closed that gate. I've closed that down on so many people.
A naked girl with an 8-ball.
Well, no, what I
Slowly
will do is I'll close it slowly and go, I'm so sorry. Where are you guys going? I'll
my
pretend
favorite-
that they're doing it.
You've done a bunch of good ones. My favorite one is him after the Falcons lost Super Bowl. He goes,
Fuck this. I'm out.
slams the door down, and is like, I'm done.
So, speaking of that Super Bowl, Vinny and I were working together.
Yeah.
It was amazing, and then it was terrible.
Yes, 'cause at halftime, it is. Look, we're like ready to
Ran
hang
across the entire
banners.
bar inside.
Vinny turned around at me at one point and goes, "We're about to win the goddamn Super Bowl," and it's like early third quarter.
Everybody's happy. Right? If we run the ball three
All
times,
the
we win.
Patriots fans had left. Like they were
Yeah.
all gone. They all went home.
We're like,
So
run the ball 3
interesting
times,
story
we win.
about that night. So I didn't have a Falcon shirt, so my friend Clint Moses here,
Yeah, that's right.
he gave me a shirt. All I looked at was the front. The front said the Atlanta Falcons.
No, it said if you don't. It said I bleed black and red.
Oh yeah. All right, whatever. It said whatever.
I bleed black and red.
It said something
Falcons have
very
them on
innocuous on the front, and then on the back it said, "And if you don't, then take your motherfucking bitch ass home, motherfucker." And I did not notice the back, and I had people looking at me like,
Yo.
"That's kind of a lot, man." I was like, "Yeah, Falcons, woo!"
Yeah. The best part is I bought that at a Falcons Cowboys game while wearing a Cowboys jersey.
Oh, wow.
And the guy was like,
I had no idea how abrasive my back was being to everyone that was there, even if you were.
The
a
thing is,
Falcons
like,
fan.
I couldn't. I bought that shirt and I got home. I was drunk when I bought it. So then I got home and like I said, I was like, when am I going to wear this?
It was shocking for me to look at it, and I'm an adult male. And I was like, take your bitch ass motherfucking I was clutching my pearls. My word. Oh, my stars. So you
then
guys
they
were up late playing Fortnite last night, apparently. And it reminded me of a story that I just heard from two of my coworkers, Tragic Dyke Mike and Edo. Shout out to both of those guys.
Who were playing Fortnite with us last night.
I think Edo listens, but Tragic Dyke Mike, I don't know if he knows how to use a phone or anything like that.
Does not have a phone.
His nickname is Tragic in Fortnite for me.
Really? Yeah.
When he pops online, it says Tragic.
People are
He's
like, why do you
invited
call him
to a
Tragic
party.
Mike? I'm like, well, number one, it
you met him?
rhymes with Magic Mike. Okay, that's the first part.
And he does like to get naked.
Yes, he does. In front of guests.
So it took me like 2 years to convince Poe he was harmless. Poe's like, why is that guy behind the bar without his clothes on?
Dude, you ever notice that? Like, so no dog in this world likes Wiley Workman. No, Wiley goes near a dog.
Those rough hands. When he pets him, it scratches their
I saw Wiley
skin off.
twice this week.
Yeah, I
It
saw
was
Wiley
great.
this weekend. Wiley goes near a dog. The dog barks. The dog hates. Mike's like that to half the people. So I agree with Poe. Like, it took me like a year to be like, hey, man.
It took me a while.
I was
but
just like, stay
love
there.
it.
Stay away.
He's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, like I'll run
He's
into
still
him,
a lot, but-
I get to the bar late usually, so then it's like he's already had a few and he's working, and like we'll talk for like 10 minutes. I'm like, do you have tables? He's like, oh yeah. I'm like,
Every
bad
time.
that I'm concerned,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't work here.
How is it that I'm the one that's like, shouldn't you be
Table 12 needs
shouldn't
you.
you be somewhere else? I know the table number's better than you do. Well, him and Edo, so Edo doesn't live on Tybee, so when he works and gets drunk at work, he doesn't like to drive into town, so he goes and stays at Mike's. So they're down where they live on the other end of the island, Tybee Island, Georgia, and
31328.
30328, P.O. Box 191. So and they hear what they think is a party going on, so they're like, oh shit, man, let's go
So they
find.
just got off work, so it's kind of
They
late.
got off work. It's probably like 3 in the morning, something like that.
Yeah.
And they were like, let's go see what's up with this party. Like they're still chilling. Like they get off work. Like you ain't wound down yet. So they go out and they hear this music blasting and they're looking around and they're not seeing people. Finally,
And these are not two guys you want to be trying to search for anything, okay?
I was like, were y'all really walking around that much? Because I wouldn't walk around with anyone at
and
4
Mike
a.m.
lives on, where does he live now?
Like,
On
just-
Tybee, yeah.
I mean,
Where'd Mike live, on 12th?
no, further down, like almost to the other end, like 17th Street or something like
Okay.
that. So
He used to live on 14.
he used to live. See, yeah, that's what I thought they were talking about. But he lives a few streets down now. So they're walking and they come up to these like set of condos and they find out where this music is coming from. There's a ghetto blaster, a BoomBox, not plugged in. So if you're not familiar with a ghetto blaster,
It goes
if you've
like
ever
this
seen an
big.
80s movie, it's the big silver thing that the guys carry on their shoulders.
Break-in movie, when they put it down, break into Electric Boogaloo also,
Tape player,
cardboard.
cassette tape player, and a compact disc player on
Well,
the top.
the one on top that you pop
Yeah.
up in?
CD for all you kids.
CD. So Mike's like, I got tapes and CDs. So they, of
course he's got tapes.
So they run back to the house, grab a tape and a CD, and go back. Edo doesn't know how to work the tape player because he's like 26 years old or whatever. He's never seen a tape in his life. He's never had to put a pencil in one ever. So they're like, so they put a tape in. Mike puts a tape in. It's like Bon Jovi or something. And there's just like literally two guys partying in the middle of the street with a boombox, and they're kind of like the wild and crazy guys. Like, who's ready to party? Anybody around? Hey, anybody
People
around?
saw him. They were like, turn the lights off. It's Tragic Mike.
So no one comes for like 20 minutes. So they're like, oh, well. So they take the tape out. They take a Josh Groban Christmas CD, put it into the boombox, turn it to 11, and leave the premises.
That is the way to
Ranked
go.
at 11.
Because when I asked him, I
That's
was
the
like,
funniest thing Mike's ever done, probably.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I was like, y'all didn't steal it? And he was like, no, we did better. We put a Josh Groban Christmas CD in there, cranked it up to 11,
Josh
and got,
is a nice
and
guy,
got, and got
He's
out of
actually
there.
a great actor. Like, he's not
Yeah,
terrible in movies.
I met him. I was told this story before. When I was dating this girl that sucks, the only girl that I dated that I
Don't
like.
they all? Am I right?
Hey.
Sex joke.
Our first cheers to the Ukraine. So I'm at Alligator Soul, sitting at the bar with the girl I'm dating, me, and then this guy. And we're just talking. The guy's being very nice. And like, I go to the bathroom, and some girl goes, "Hey, I didn't know you knew Josh Groban." I'm like, "Who the fuck is Josh Groban?" She's like, "You don't know Josh Groban?" I'm like, "What?" She goes, "You're having dinner with him." So I'm like going to pee and looking him up. I'm like, "This is this guy. He's won like 9 Grammys or something."
Wait a minute. So you were actually having dinner with him? You were sitting at the
We were at the
table? with him?
bar together.
Oh,
So he was
okay.
sitting next to us, and he was like over a seat. Then he scooted over because we were talking a bunch.
I wouldn't know him if you walked
I mean,
up
he
to
was
me.
handsome, but you know.
Yeah, yeah.
He was a little shorter.
All right, so there's only one time where I was.
Yeah, I finished my story.
Oh, sorry.
I
Go ahead.
gotcha.
Hey, my bad.
But anyway,
I thought
so-
you were done because it sounded like you were because I was completely
Because Josh
unnecessary at that point.
But anyway, so we thought all have a great time, and the guy ends up buying our meal. We're super nice about it. Like we didn't know he paid for everything, left, and then like Wendy was like,
Oh, he
"Fuck
wasn't
the
like,
food."
"Hey guys, I got
No,
you."
he just walked off.
See, that's a dope way to
And
do
like
it.
we had
Yeah.
$2 for the food, and dude just. And now that I know he's rich, I was like, oh, that was nothing. To
Yeah.
it.
Drop in the bucket. Yeah.
All right, so go ahead. So you had a boombox.
Oh yeah, I'm awake now. Okay. No. Actually, I forgot what I was going to say.
We're talking
now.
about Boba Fett. What's going on?
Oh,
So the Eagles.
famous people that you don't know. So I used to work for the Doyle Landscaping Company when I was like 22 down here on
that
site.
Doyle rules.
I was about to go there.
Got it.
And I went to work to cut some grass one day, as I did every day at a landscaping job. So I'm cutting grass, and this woman is riding down the street on a bicycle. And I look over, and when I'm working like dirty jobs like that, the last thing I ever did
It's like,
was
what
like
up?
ogle at
You're not a
girls,
construction
you know
site
what I
guy.
mean?
It was like, hey, girl, how you doing?
We would just go pineapple, and that would let everyone know that there's a girl,
Pineapple.
and then we all just take a
I like,
look.
I like our coworkers
Yeah.
lobster for peeing outside.
We just take a look real quick, and that's it. You know, we're not catcalling, whatever. But anyway, so as she gets
Can I
closer,
trim your grass, baby?
yeah, looks like you need trimming.
Yeah, I like some trim.
So she's coming closer and closer. Come and get it. Sex joke. She's coming closer and closer, and the closer she gets, the more like beautiful she's becoming. So you can you can tell when people are like stand out handsome.
Well, and a hot woman on a bike, the wind's blowing, the hair's all
I mean,
moving.
I've been around certain people.
It's not
and
like
I'm
Wayne's World, just the car.
yeah, God.
Yeah.
And I was like, she is like exceptionally beautiful. And she rides by and pulls into the house right next to us. The house next to us was John Cougar Mellencamp's house.
Oh, you were here on Tybee.
And it was his wife at the time, who was a Victoria's Secret model.
Whose name was?
I have no
Look
idea.
it up, Jamie.
I have no idea. But I was just like, I didn't know that at first. I was just like, she's exceptionally beautiful. Like, she's like standout. I had no idea that she was an actual like celebrity. But some people, you don't know they're like, whatever, celebrities.
I waited on John Cougar twice.
I did too.
Unbelievably short.
Elaine
Yeah,
Irwin.
really.
Startlingly short guy. His girlfriend, his wife, whatever, the model, was at least a foot taller.
I've seen him live too. It's amazing.
I'm sure old John Cougar put on a good show.
Crushes.
Elaine Irwin.
See? She was just
Look at
riding.
that hair. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that scoop right there on the hair.
She was riding a bike just like any other Tybee lady.
I'm gonna ride my bike. Baby.
But he had to.
Yes,
we cut his grass too, and he had it. It was weird. He had this big palatial house, but since you're on Tybee, there's no way to have like a really
was
big.
he in the Hershey house?
Huh?
Was he in the Hershey house?
I have no
The one on the
idea.
Back River.
I don't. No. This is on Officers Row.
Officers
Okay.
Row, yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh, that's right.
He's got this palatial house. His pool looked like a hot tub, basically. It was like a
Well,
long
he's
hot.
fucking 5'2". Double him.
Wow, he could have done laps in it and not had a problem. Holy shit.
His wife jumps in, hits both sides.
But the thing was, like, that was just one of his 400 houses. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, he was there kind of often, but, like, we would just go cut his grass, and, like, there was no furniture anywhere. You know what I mean? It was just, like, so I was like, no boomboxes outside to party with or anything like that.
Rock the mountain.
But I was like, we were talking about the boombox thing, and my first inclination was like, why didn't you just steal it? I was like, I'm such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because, like,
The thing is, I was like, why didn't they steal it? That was the first thing. Because also, those are hard to find.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I bought one off of eBay, actually, because I wanted to repair it, and I'm still trying to repair it. I'm still learning. But
7 years.
You bought a broken boombox.
yeah, I bought it because I bought it because it was broken.
It was cheap.
And I wanted to fix it because I was watching YouTube videos about guys fixing it when I was drunk. Weird.
So you waited on Mellencamp?
Twice. Once at North Beach Grill and once at Lily's when I managed it. And
Was he like
very quiet?
I must have missed him at Lily's.
Didn't
I
like to
wasn't
be
there.
bothered. Only drank sweet tea. Like he almost got offended if you asked him if he would like something else to drink. His wife was like, "No, baby, he doesn't drink anymore." Always had a ton
That's
of.
why
little,
he's so short.
Like he marries like hot young women, has like 3 kids with them, and divorces them, and like
So,
moves on. I'm pretty
as you
sure.
do
When, he,
when
when,
Yeah.
when Tango
When
was
you're
on
a fucking
Tybee,
rock star.
my buddy Richard worked at Tango and waited on him and goes,
waited on John Cougar Mellencamp?
yeah, and goes, would your wife like anything? He goes, that's my daughter.
I waited on his daughter one time.
Richard was like,
and
she was a smoke show.
She was his daughter had like a kid with him, and I was like,
Well, if you sleep with models,
Yeah.
you're probably
Yeah.
going to have
and
good-looking
you're John
kids.
Cougar Shortenkamp.
And he couldn't be mad because if you're going to date young women,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Did you hear about the yeah, it's a thing because it's just like Leo DiCaprio. He's like,
Leo, you sound like you know him.
I
Like,
mean,
hey,
small
Leo.
boy. He's like, oh, you just turned 24. Gotta go.
Gotta go.
Where's
it's like when Millie Bobby Brown turned 18. Everybody was like, "Where's
Where's
Drake?
Drake?
At?
Where's Drake at?"
Drake at, y'all?"
Drake was in the backyard with that boombox in his
Yeah,
hand.
yeah,
Anyways, we're going to talk
Playing
about
the Doors,
So,
Strange.
we're about to go on to the Patreon portion of this, and I've got a story about being robbed at gunpoint, maybe a few more. But before we go,
We got a text from Grant Nelson.
okay,
He said, and I'm saying this is Grant. Grant gets one F-bomb for this.
Ooh,
Happy
Grant.
motherfucking Mardi Gras BarCast. So
oh nice. Well,
Thanks,
happy
Grant.
Mardi Gras to all of you guys enjoying it down there.
Happy free titties.
Not Grant.
Happy, yeah, right. Happy
All the
exchange
boobs you
of
can
nipples
see.
for beads. Let's get the F count in there.
I am way behind in last place. I had
Well,
4.
that's really first place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Paxton had 6 and Clinton had 8.
And Grant had one.
You came through right at the end
I know.
with the win.
I double after that one thing that got me. I said it and repeated myself.
So, we are from behind the barcast at gmail.com. That is our email. If you have any Karen or Darren stories, you can go to anchor.fm/from behind the barcast and leave us a voicemail if you'd like. That would be dope.
And
We'll
things
play it on
you
the air.
send us, we will say most of them on the air.
Anything you send us, most likely.
Call,
most likely.
leave a message.
Leave a
We
message.
love
yeah.
it.
Email.
We would love it. We haven't had one yet. but,
Follow us on Instagram at from behind the barcast and
Everything's
follow
right below Clint right now.
and follow Inferno Tybee on Instagram as well because we're gonna try and
Burn that up.
Burn that up, baby.
Thanks,
and,
Charlie Classic. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, you're welcome, Moses.
You do look just like that guy.
I know.
I started following him
If
on
my beard
Facebook.
was much shorter,
Also,
I'd
thank
look
you, Charlie
exact-
Classic, for not untagging
I want to
us.
see what he looks like now. That picture looks old. I feel like
Oh
that's
yeah.
a picture
So what
from
I
him.
did, I
Like,
went through the
it could look
pictures.
even more like,
so I do on Tuesday. I listen to the podcast and like find things to make pictures of. So I pulled up like 9 pictures of Paxton and 8 of Charlie Classic and was like, all right, who looks like me the most here? And had my staff help me figure out which one looked the most. And that was the unanimous selection.
Really? Yeah.
Everybody was like, that one, that,
That
one,
one,
that
and
one, that one, that one. They were like, who is that guy? And like, he's an internet hero, Charlie Classic. Who also is super trash.
Oh yeah. That's why the guy thought I was him. All right. Thank you guys. We love you.
See you in a minute.
We'll see you on the Patreon.
We're gonna get look. It's gonna get a little spicy here.
Get a little
I'm
spicy
talking
on
about
the
pepper
Patreon.
spray spicy.
I'm talking. Yeah.
like Rocky.
You got a pepper spray story?
You got
I
a
got
shooting story,
I got a
right?
gun in my face story.
Ooh, my
Let's
bad.
go. Love you guys.
GG's boys.